Hey everyone, I'm just getting everything set up and I'll be with you in a few minutes. I'm just making sure the video works and sound works and everything. Hey everyone, I'm just getting everything set up and I'll be with you in a few minutes. I'm just Alright, so I'm just about set up here. I'm just waiting for my laptop to load Facebook so I can see the comments because I'm using my phone to record. We're going to be making chicken tikka masala with basmati rice and homemade naan with garlic butter. Alright, so the first thing we're going to get going is the bread, just so we can let it rise while we're cooking everything else. So I got a bowl right here. We have 2 1/4 cup of bread flour in here. And then I add about, I don't really ever measure it, but it's probably about a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half of, I'm using rapid rise yeast just so it works fast because I'm making the video. but you can just use active yeast if that's all you have. Also going to add about a teaspoon of sugar. Tablespoon of oil. It's a half a cup of warm water. You don't want it too hot because you don't want to kill the yeast. About 90 degrees. And then we're going to add, it's about a half a cup of yogurt. Just whole milk, plain yogurt, no flavor, just a regular whole milk yogurt. Nick, how's it going, man? If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Also going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt. And when I find my spatula, we're just going to stir it. Of course. Just going to give it a good mix. And you could like bloom your yeast with the sugar and the water. Put the sugar, water, and your yeast in there and just mix it up a little bit, let it bloom, but I just normally just mix it up. I take the easy route, usually works out. Okay, once you got it mixed up, you're probably gonna just want to use your hands. Best way to do it. Just get in there, mix it all up, make sure there's no dry spots. It's gonna be a little shaggy of a dough, it's gonna be a little dry, that's okay. Just really want to get it in there. Fold it maybe a couple times. That's pretty good. There you go. And then you just want to set that aside. You can cover that with a plastic wrap or just a damp towel and just let it set for until we're done with the rest of this. Then we'll cook those. Let's wash my hands and be back in a second. If any of you guys are watching and you want to give my video a share, I would appreciate it. Alright, so we did the bread, and now we're going to make the paste. So if you have a blender or a food processor or something along those lines, you're just going to want to add, let's see if I can just get this in here. There we go. So you can use, usually it calls for like red Fresnos, but I'm using just the slices of red bell pepper right now because my wife doesn't like the heat, so I just use the chili powder that we'll add later. But normally you would add just like red Fresnos or something like that for some heat. This is just a regular red bell pepper, just one pepper. Then we'll add 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 pretty big cloves of garlic. And then I have one more clove of garlic right here, but I'm going to put this in the pot that's in the back here. I don't know if you guys can see. Well, there's a pot in the back there with butter in it. It's a half a stick of butter, and I'm just putting 1 clove of garlic in, and I'm going to put that on low. We're not going to need that till later. It's just to brush the naan with when we're done. So I'm just going to put that on low so the garlic gets cooking. Also, I'm going to add, this is peeled ginger. I just took about, I don't know, a good size, like a 2-inch nub of ginger, peel it, and just cut it up into little pieces. Thank you, Jen, for sharing. We're also going to add about a 1/4 cup of water, just to get it going. So there's a liquid in there. And then I have this mixture right here. So you see that? It's just a whole bunch of spices in there. It's just, that's garam masala on top. But it is about 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, about a teaspoon of cumin, about 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric, and where's the garam masala? Oh, a tablespoon of garam masala. And we're just going to dump all that right in there. Alright, then we're just going to blend that on high until it turns into a nice paste. I might get a little loud with the blender. Alright, so basically we just wanted to get that into like a nice paste, nice smooth paste. It's alright if it's a little chunky. We're gonna cook it down later. Okay, so I already went ahead and did it, but if you're cooking along with me, you're gonna want to transfer that into another bowl. And then I took a 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes, pureed it in the blender, and that's what this is right here. And then I just ran it through a sieve so it caught any stems or seeds or anything like that. Oh, that's alright, Christy. Yep, I'll post it later. The video will be posted. I'll post it on my page and probably my YouTube. So if you're late, guys, this will be up there. Also, I'm going to post the full recipe on my website. Also, I forgot to mention it, but we gotta put some oil in there too. About 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use just like vegetable oil or any kind of really neutral oil you want. Alright, now that that's all mixed, we're gonna marinate our chicken. So I went ahead and I have boneless, I don't know if you see it, it's just boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I cleaned it up a little bit. It's alright if there's a little bit of fat on there still. Just nice sized chunks. We're gonna sear it off. Liz, I'll post a link to my YouTube and website, Liz. So yeah, I want to take the chicken. I'll just move this stuff over. So we'll take the chicken here and add about, I usually use just a couple, I don't really measure it because it all depends on how much chicken you need or you have. But we just have that some of that whole milk yogurt here. About 2 or 3 good dollops. I'd say that's probably about that. It's maybe like a little bit over 1/4 of a cup, not quite half a cup. 1/3 a cup. Jason, how's it going? I'm just taking my time, guys, in case anybody is like cooking along, so they have time to you know, catch up or write stuff down or whatever they need to do. Okay, so we have the yogurt in there. Then we're gonna add a little bit of salt. Gonna add about 2 teaspoons or so of salt. But once again, it really depends on how much chicken you have. I always just eye the salt. I was using kosher salt. And then we're gonna take the paste that we have and we're gonna add probably about 2 tablespoons. It's probably about 2 tablespoons. And this we're just going to use, and we're just going to mix our chicken up in this and get it all nice and coated. And you can do this ahead of time too, and let the chicken set and really like absorb the yogurt and absorb all the flavors. But I just do it like this and sear it off first, so it's super quick. There you go. You got all that mixed in there, nice. Alright, so now basically we're just going to sear all this chicken off. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of oil. In my Dutch oven that should have been preheating, that I didn't. That's okay, it'll heat up quick. Probably put it out probably like a medium heat because the yogurt will start to like burn and like brown and stick to the bottom of the pan if you have a too high of a temperature. So you don't want to have it too high, but you do want to like pretty much sear the outside of this and lock in those flavors nice. Can everybody see the chicken? Because for some reason on my computer, it doesn't show that I'm showing you chicken. So let me know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. I just want to make sure that the video is working. Okay, thank you. It's probably just my laptop's froze. I can see the comments, and the comments are working right, but the video wasn't. But all right, thank you, everybody. Yeah, so we're gonna sear this chicken off once this gets hot. It's almost there. Also, I went ahead and made my basmati rice. I mean, it's just basmati rice. I just followed the directions on the packet, the bag or whatever it came in. Just water and rice. But I really love basmati rice for this because it's like really sweet and aromatic. And it has like that really sweet smell to it. It's amazing. Let's give our garlic butter a little stir back here. Alright, that looks pretty hot. Turn my temperature down. And you're just gonna sear all that chicken off. I'm probably using about a pound of chicken cut up into decent sized chunks. They're all relatively about that size. And you're not really cooking the chicken, you just want to get a good sear on it. And some of this will stick to the bottom of the pan, become a nice little flavoring for us. And yeah, you just want to get a nice sear. We'll be putting the chicken back in. We're going to take the chicken out after we sear it, and then we'll add it back in. Yep, they were boneless and skinless thighs. You can use bone-in if you want. I just prefer the boneless because then I can just take like my naan or my roti and just like scoop up some rice and chicken and, you know, shovel it in my face. So, but yeah, you can definitely use bone-on if you wanted to. I do take the skin off though, and most Indian dishes they do take the skin off just because most dishes are simmer dishes, which we're gonna simmer the chicken in the sauce, so the skin gets soggy anyways. So most of them just take the skin right off and just sear the chicken. Sometimes it'll get like really gel-like and gelatinous and just not a good texture. Could have been a little higher heat, but that's alright. Nice, your favorite? Yeah, I love chicken thighs. I love Indian food. Just last week, I was at a buddy's house and we made peas and cheese. We made paneer. It was delicious. Once again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask away. We are going to use our this is a Lodge Dutch oven, by the way, too. And I literally love this thing. I use it for everything. I use it to make bread, like artisan loaves and stuff. You can use it to make bread, pot roast, short ribs, literally everything. I love it. You can ask my wife. I literally use this thing for everything. Actually, not this one. This one's a new one. I have a red one, and I cracked the bottom of it somehow, the ceramic in it. So I'm just going to use it for bread because I put parchment on the bottom anyways. Oh, that's some coriander. We'll just be chopping some of that up and putting it on after. Then we have some diced white onion right here. It's just one onion diced up, just like a smallish dice. And then we have half a stick of butter, and I just sliced it up just so it melts a little bit better. And then we have some paprika and some chili powder. I'm using this Korean chili powder. Let me see what I got. I'm using this Korean chili powder just because that's what I've been using, and kind of like the flavor of it. It's pretty nice, but you can use any chili powder. Just know if you're gonna use dark chili powder, it's gonna have a little bit darker of a color and whatnot. But really, you can use anything. I've used regular just chili powder from Walmart before, so I just have that left over because I was making kimchi. So. Let's see, so this is almost done. Let's get a bowl for that. Make a kimchi video. I could definitely do that. I love kimchi. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that's probably be pretty short videos I should make. I have a garlic that I have been fermenting for almost a year in honey, and that's pretty fun to make, and it's super easy. Alright, that's pretty much done. Just gonna take this all out, put it in a bowl. And as you take the chicken out, you can see this sauce down here kind of thickens up a little bit. And that's where you got to be careful. If you have it too high of a heat, this yogurt right here, like it's a nice thick sauce right now, but it could brown really quickly and stick to the bottom of your pan like it's almost doing right there. So then you just add your half a stick of butter. It's like 4 tablespoons. Just mix that around, get it all nice and melted. And then we're going to cook the onions down. So we'll add that 1 whole white onion, diced up nice and small. Mix that around, get those cooking until they're nice and tender. No, this is actually my first live video. I like to use a spoon. But yeah, this is my first live video. I haven't done this before. Just thought I'd check it out, see how many people are interested in it. And yeah. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, I'll start doing more of these. Turn my heat down a little bit. You could probably have it on like a medium, low heat now. You just want to cook these a little bit. You don't want anything to burn really. Move this back a little bit. Just want to take a few minutes to cook those down. Yeah, I think next time I might try and do like a short rib or maybe a pot roast, I'll do a pot roast video. Usually feeds like 4 people. It's pretty. Serve it with maybe mashed potatoes or something. Let me know in the comments if that's what you guys want me to do. So then we're gonna add this paprika. We have paprika and that chili powder, and it's about a tablespoon of paprika and about 2 teaspoons of chili powder. We're just gonna mix that right in there. Make sure everything dissolves. That's why I also love this too. It's just because like you have to use the blender and stuff, but other than that, it's a one pot thing. You cook everything in the same pot. Cook that down. It's getting a nice color on it now. Let me know if you guys can see that. Mississippi pot roast is so good. What is that? Let me know what the Mississippi part of it is. That sounds good. See, now you got all the oils releasing, and it's gonna make a really nice sauce. Okay, now we're going to take that amazing paste that we made earlier, and we're going to add all that to it. Just add whatever's left of that from what we didn't put in the chicken yogurt mix. And then just stir that around, and we're going to want to cook that down because we have like the raw peppers, raw garlic, and ginger. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna want to cook that out, so it doesn't have that like the raw veggie, raw garlic, ginger taste to it. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, the colors on this really developed super well. I hope you guys can see this. I have my lights set up. Let me know how the lighting is too, because I can move them. They're just on tripods. Kind of getting a glare. Let me see if that helps. No, that's worse. So that's just about cooked out. It doesn't take long. You just want to really just make sure that the the ginger and garlic are the two big things. You don't want to taste raw in there. All right, now that that's all cooked down, we're just gonna take that 28 ounce can of tomatoes that we blended and ran through a sieve, and we're just gonna add that in there. Mix that all in and start cooking it down a little. Yeah, it's just beautiful color. Just cook that down for a while. It'll start to thicken up. Also, we're just going to go right ahead and add our chicken right back in there. Just dump that all right in. Give it a good mix. And that's basically why they call it a simmer sauce. So now we're gonna just take the heat and put it on like a medium low and just basically simmer it for a little bit. Cook that chicken the rest of the way. It'll come out nice and tender. The sauce will start to thicken up. And then we have one more thing to add afterwards. And then we will start making our naan. I'm also going to be using a Lodge cast iron to do that as well. Yeah, I just love cooking with the Lodges. They're super nice. These things are amazing. It's so versatile. And then I have a cast iron for when I do steaks and naan bread or roti. Give this a little stir. This here. It's a chicken tikka masala, Jason. And I forgot that you used to work. Didn't you used to work out at the indie restaurant with us? I know Gage worked there with us. I'm just getting a few things ready to roll the naan out while I wait for that to simmer a little bit, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. If you have suggestions for videos you want to see, let me know. If you haven't, also, if you want to follow my page, it's Chef Stoneback, Chef Ken Stoneback. The stone jug, yeah, the jug we made it. That's what I'm at, not the Indian restaurant, yeah. You might not have been there when we made that. That might have been before you started working there. It's coming together nice, thickening up. Once this is all thick and cooked down and the chicken's cooked and everything's ready, I'm going to add a little bit, like a tablespoon or two of the whole milk yogurt. And that'll just make this nice and creamy. Still need the oil. Need that. Thank you guys all for joining too and sharing the video. I appreciate it. Take some of this. Jason, you still living out this way in NT? Haven't seen your dad in a while. Stir that garlic butter. This is pretty close to done. Okay, so if you don't have one, these things are incredible. Just rub it down with some oil every now and then, and you're solid. Actually, I'm gonna do this over here. See you, Tanawanda. Nice, nice. Yeah, I haven't really been able to get out much, just, COVID. Alright, so check on this butter. So see this butter, you just don't want to burn it like I did a few minutes ago and have to remake it. Yeah, just keep your eye on it, stir it. Low heat. You just want the garlic to cook and simmer in there. You can mince the garlic if you want. I just crushed the clove and threw it in there. Okay, this is almost set. So I'm pretty bad with the bread. I roll into such wonky shapes, but I just took it. That dough that I made, the recipe makes about 4 rotis if you make them a decent size. So I usually just divide it in 4 and then just take it and just like you're making like pizza dough or something, you just fold it in on itself. Keep just folding it back like this and tucking it under inside. And it'll just smooth out the top. And then if you put it on a table and drag it back like this, it'll smooth it out. I don't think it'll work on this comb board because it's new. Oh yeah, it should. There you go. It sticks actually perfect. Made a mess, but yeah, if it'll pretty much seal that up. They don't have to look perfect though. You're gonna roll this out too. So then yeah, like I said, I'll just take this. I'm gonna bring it over to my counter. A little flour, which I forgot to get out. soon I'll have it set up so that you guys can actually see me cooking, and I can pan in and pan out and move around and whatnot. But I'm flying solo today, so I'm just have my phone in my camera mount hooked to my stove. But yeah, eventually I'll be able to move you around and do a little bit, show you a little bit more. Yep, so I just like roll it out in like a, just like a pita, you know, just a round. They don't have to be super big, just big enough to fit in your cast iron. And this is coming together super, super nice. So all I'm gonna do here is add some yogurt. Take a little bit more of that nice whole milk yogurt. Do like a scoop, maybe 2. Say probably like 2. Let's see how this goes. I can always just tell by color too, just because I've made it so many times. I can just a little bit more. And you can also use heavy cream for this last step if you don't have any yogurt left or want it a little bit more creamier or looser. If it gets too thick or whatnot, you can just add heavy cream or whole milk if you have it, and that works as well. You can also use coconut milk, but you know it messes with the flavor kind of, but still delicious. Still delicious though. Yeah, that sucks. Be right back, guys. While this simmers, I'm just going to go wash my hands and get ready to cook some naan. So that's probably like perfect. Just slightly brown. And then I'll just set that aside and let that garlic steep in there. So this is pretty much done. You can cook it down and make it thicker if you want, but that's probably about the right consistency that I want it. And as you can see, this is a pretty big serving, so you can serve quite a bit of people or eat it all for yourself. But alright, so here we go. We got the cast iron. We're going to let that heat up a little bit first, then add oil to it. You always want to let the pan heat up first, then put the oil in it, and then put whatever you're cooking in it. Watch that butter. I know I almost burnt that butter again. What's up, Corey? How you doing? It's almost there. That is not the proper way to test a cast iron, by the way. Do not touch it. I can't believe how easy it is to make. Yeah, really, it's just knowing the recipe and knowing the process. It's really easy. It's all fresh ingredients. The only thing you're using that's not fresh is canned tomatoes. And I mean, you could use fresh tomatoes if you want to blanch them and puree them and sieve them. It would work basically the same way. A little bit of oil. I always like to just take a paper towel. Take a paper towel and just wipe the inside so the whole bottom gets coated. Not wipe it out, but just like spread it around. And I'm not sure if you were here for the bread, Christy, but the bread was just flour, oil, whole milk yogurt, salt, water, and yeast. And we've just been letting it rise since we've been cooking all this. And it's pretty much ready to go now. I just cut it into 4 different pieces, roll them out. It doesn't even have to be like round ones. They just have to fit. And that's pretty much it. And then this was half a stick of butter and 1 clove of crushed garlic. So now we're just gonna get this oil, let this oil get hot. Alright, that's probably about the right heat. Should be good. I always use the first one's always a tester anyways. Anyway, so yeah, it's just wonky shaped. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want it to be flat. So I just kind of like flatten it out when it's in the pan. If you have a gas stove, which unfortunately I have an electric stove. If you have a gas stove, you can hit these in a non-stick pan real quick. And then just so they like super quick, just so they like stiffen on the outside, they're not doughy like that, and then throw it right over the gas flame on low, or probably like medium low, and just flip it back and forth and just get a nice little char on them, and they're like incredible that way. But I unfortunately don't have one, so I have to use this cast iron for now. But the cast iron still works just the same. Also, if you don't have a cast iron, you can use just a regular pan. Anything will work. This just gives you the best, almost like a char, like a brown. You'll see when I flip it. And they don't really take that long either. It's just a few minutes on each side. And then once this one flips and I take it off, I'll immediately brush it with garlic butter. And it'll just absorb all that garlicky butterness, and it'll be incredible. And I don't mind it being like a little brown like that, but you don't want to burn it. If you brown the butter, it'll give it like a little nuttiest flavor, kind of. Nutty flavor. And right now I'm just pulling some cilantro off and ripping it up, getting it ready for after. You don't have to dice it up real fine, just like me, just a rough chop is fine. You don't even really have to cut it at all. See, now it's getting brown right now, but it's not quite there yet. It'll start bubbling and turn a little bit more brown. I like to do it at like a medium high heat versus like a really high heat, because the flour and the cast iron with the oil, it'll burn really quickly. And then the first one will come out great, and then you put the second one down and it'll just have like black stuff on it, and it won't be as good as the first one. You can also wipe the pan out with a clean paper towel after every time if you want. I'm only making 4 of them, so it's not that big of a deal. A little bit longer on that one. Give this a stir. There you go. See, it's nice golden brown. It's already starting to rise. You can see it rising. So when I flipped it, it's starting to bubble now. Just want to make sure your pan's nice and hot. Not too hot, but you know, it's got to be really hot in order to get browned and cooked thoroughly. If it's at a super high heat, it'll burn on the outside, and the inside will still be like doughy. So you want to make sure that it's at like a medium high, so it cooks thoroughly. Second side always cooks faster too for some reason. I think it's just because it bubbles, so not much, it doesn't all touch it. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, let me know. Once again, if you guys have any questions about anything, just shoot me a comment. You can shoot me a message if you wanted to. If you have any recommendations on what you want to see cooked next, if there's anything you're having trouble cooking or that you've always wanted to cook but you just never knew how, just post it in the comments. Shoot me a message. Let me know, and I'll do what I can to make that happen. See, that's pretty much done. About another minute or two. So that took us I started the video at 5:30. It's 6:30. That took us about an hour. And I was trying to take my time so that we can, you know, thoroughly answer questions and do things. I also had a few things prepped ahead of time. But it'll probably take you about an hour the first time you do it. But it's really simple. It's all one pot, besides like if you're cooking the naan and the basmati rice and whatnot. Some kind of Chinese food. I love Chinese too. Yeah, that's the thing about Chinese food and Indian food. There's usually not any good restaurants around that deliver it, or that make like incredibly good stuff, or they give you small portions and it's really expensive. Like all this stuff, it was like 20 bucks to buy, like to literally buy everything here that I needed. And it might even be less than that. I'm guessing high. And that's for the basmati rice, that's for the naan, pretty much everything. It's about 20 bucks. Super cheap, and you could feed easily a family of 4 or 5 with this recipe. So, and there you go. That's pretty much it. And then we'll take our butter right here, brush the top of it, And then you just let that sit for a minute and it'll absorb all that nice garlicky butterness. I douse it in garlic butter. I love the garlic butter part. Chinese food. Is there a certain thing, Chinese food that you'd like to see? With like orange chicken, General Tso, the sesame seed, cashew chicken? Just let me know in the comments. I will definitely make that happen for you guys. Alright, let's see. Plate some of this up here. And you can literally use as much chicken as you want. I just used a pound because it's just me and my wife, but this is more than enough for 2 people. Get some of this sauce. I really once again want to thank you guys for joining my video. It's my first live cooking video, and there will definitely be more to come. And there you guys go. You have some amazing Basmati rice, some chicken Tikka Masala with that incredible red sauce. Well, it's like orange. And some homemade naan bread. Super easy. Took us under an hour. Fresh coriander on top. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, anything you guys want me to make, shoot me a comment, shoot me a message. I'll be posting this video live on my Facebook and on my website. I'll also be posting the full recipe on my website. I'll post all that stuff, all the links to all that in the comments below once the video is posted. If you're not friends with me, if you want to send me a friend request, I can invite you to my page. And once again, I really appreciate all of you guys joining my first live cook-along. And keep posted for all the new ones that are going to be coming. Thank you.